Very good morning, students. Welcome to biology classes. Today we are going to see 12th science biology and we are going to see the next most important topic of chapter 8, that is human health and disease, right? And today we are going to see the topic cancer in detail. So let's start with today's lecture. The process of development of cancer is called oncogenic transformation. Right now, the process in which the process of developing a cancer, that is known as oncogenic transformation. So there is some changes which has been taking place, or there is some transformation which is taking place, and that type of transformation is known as oncogenic transformation. And when the oncogenic transformation is being carried out, at that time the cancer is developed. Now the cancer is the most dreaded disease of human beings. Nowadays, you have been knowing that cancer is one of the dreaded diseases, that is the life-threatening disease. The normal cells have the property of contact inhibition. Now, the most important thing of this is this, that every normal cell, they does possess the property of contact inhibition. That means the binding of each of the cells with one another, that is a contact inhibition, that is the stoppage of growth on coming in contact with other cells. That means if one cell has been infected, right, then it does not allow, or it does not contact with the other cells in order to spread the infection, or we can say the whatever diseases have been right. But the cancer cells, they lose this property. The normal cells can carry out the contact inhibition, that if once a particular growth of any of the infection has been taking place, then it does not allow the contact inhibition, that is the it is not going to contact with the other cells in order to stop the growth of those type of infectious cells, right? But when we are talking about the cancerous cells, the cancer cells, they lose the property of the contact inhibition. So for this reason, what happens, the surrounding cells are also been infected, and for this reason it forms a cluster like structures, and they produce a tumor, right? So for as a result, cancer cells divide continuously to give rise to masses of cells. So when the cancer cells, they lose the property of the contact inhibition, what happens, in order with that, the cancer cells, they continuously divide, and they give to different and they give to rise to same cancerous cells, right? And these cancerous cells are infecting the other surrounding cells, and due to this, there is the occurrence which is observed, that is of the masses of cells, and this mass of cell is known as tumors. Right now there are two types of tumors which are observed in the human body, right? That means the two types of tumor can occur inside your body. First is the benign tumor, and second is the malignant tumor. Benign, what is the difference between them? So the benign tumor says that these tumors remain confined to their original location and do not spread. So what happens in the benign tumor, at whatever origin that this type of tumor, they does not create, or they does not spread in other regions of the body, right, or in the other organs of the body. They stay or stick to one single place, and they do not spread, right? So this type of tumors are said to be the benign tumors. Second type of tumors, those are said to be the malignant tumors, and this malignant tumors, they exhibit metastasis, right? So before going to the main, that is malignant tumor, you need to understand that first what is metastasis, right? So the cells lost from such tumor reach distant sites, and wherever they reach, new tumor is formed. Metastasis means what? If a cancerous cell has been produced, or if a cancerous cell is there which is present in a malignant tumor, right, then the cells of this malignant tumor, they reach to different sites, and upon reaching to different sites, in those different sites also, they are going to form another cancerous cells, and this like that is going to form what? Another tumors. So this way the number of tumors increases in your body, and same way the cancerous cells are also been increased. So that type of tumors are said to be the malignant tumors. Now, this malignant tumors, they actually represent the cancer. The benign tumor, they are not exactly representing the cancer, but the malignant tumors are the one which are representing the cancer, because the malignant tumors are the tumors which are spreading themselves in throughout the body, or we can say the different organs of the body, and the cancer increases, right? The ratio of the cancer increases. Now the cells actively divide, grow, and starve the normal cells of vital nutrients. Now what they do is they continuously and actively divide, they grow, and also they depend on the normal body cells to take up the nutrients, right? So whatever nutrients is been there in which is present in the normal cells, all the nutrients are being taken up by the malignant tumor cells, right? So these are the two main types of tumors which are observed, and the main one is the malignant tumor, which is responsible for the cancer, right? Now what are the causes of cancer? So first is the carcinogens. Carcinogens means the ones, the agents which are responsible for causing the cancer, right? So carcinogens, what? The transformation of normal cells into cancerous cells may be induced by physical, chemical, and biological agents. So there may be presence of three kinds of agents which are responsible for transforming the normal cells into the cancerous cell. So there can be presence of any of the physical agents, that can be any of the rays, right? Second, that is chemical, that is several chemicals can also lead to the transformation of this of the normal cells into the cancerous cells. Also some biological agents are also responsible, say for example any of the viral any of the virus, right? They can also lead to several transformation of the normal cells. So those type of agents are known as carcinogens, right? The example here it is given is the ionizing radiations and the non-ionizing radiations. These two of the radiations, they are said they are coming under the physical carcinogens, or we can say the physical agents, right? That is, the ionizing radiations include X-ray and gamma rays, right? So this is what, when a person is being exposed to X-rays or gamma rays directly, right? Then there is possibility that the normal cells can be transformed into the cancerous cell. Same way, the non-ionizing radiations, that is the UV radiations, they can also cause, you might have seen the cases of these type of UV radiations, that is when the UV radiations directly fall on the skin, the transformation of the normal cell occurs into the cancerous cell, and furthermore it leads to the skin cancer, right? Now, this was the first, that is the carcinogen. Second is the oncogenic viruses, right? This oncogenic viruses means the cancer causing viruses. That means there is presence of some viruses which can also lead to the cancer. And those viruses are known as oncogenic viruses. And this viruses, they have the viral oncogenes. And based upon this viral oncogenes, they have the ability to cause the cancer. The third causes sometimes general or normal genes in our body called proto-oncogenes. They get converted into cellular oncogenes that cause cancer. Third possibility is sometimes what happens, the normal genes of your body, right? They are normally the proto-oncogenes, but this proto-oncogenes are when converted into the cellular oncogenes, at this part also the person may undergo the cancer, right? So these are the three causes of the cancer. Now how you can diagnose, like through what ways you can diagnose and detect the cancer? So first is the biopsy and histological studies, and this biopsy and histological studies, this will be based on the cancer, like based upon this, like this two of the studies, you can detect that where exactly a cancer is present, right? So first we are going to see is about the biopsy. Biopsy is what? The suspected tissue is cut into thin sections and examined microscopically. That is histopathological studies, right? So here what happens, normally the biopsy is what they are going for. Say for example, if a person is undergoing a lung cancer, right? So the uh, like the one who is going for the histological studies and the biopsy, they are going to cut few of the tissue, like in which you are suspecting that this particular area is being infected by the cancerous cells, right? So that much the tissue from those cancerous cells, it is been cut into thin sections, and under the microscope they are examining it, and this is said to be the histopathological studies, and that is nothing but the histological study. So biopsy is useful. Say for example, if you are suspecting that the lung is having the cancer, right, then you are taking if the section of the lung, then you may understand that whether the cancer is present or not, and this way you can detect. If say for example, if the lung is having the cancer and if you are detecting the liver cancer, then if you take the section of liver, then there will be no presence of the cancerous cells which will be observed, and due to this you can understand that the cancer is not present in the liver. So this way, through the use of the biopsy and the histological studies, you can diagnose as well as detect the cancer. Second way is the radiology or CT scan, right? Radiology, that is with the use of the like the waves, right? The different types of waves which are being x-rays, right, or gamma rays, and they are going for the detection of the cancer. As well as the CT scan, the full form of CT scan is computed tomography scan, right? And the next is MRI, that is magnetic resonance imaging. Normally if you are undergoing any disease, right, then you are being sent for the scanning procedures, that is either they are sending for the CT scan, that is the normal scanning of your body, right, which can detect the cancer, as well as the MRI also, that is magnetic resonance imaging, and through the MRI also you can have the detailed study of your own body structures, right? So with the help of the radiology, CT scan and MRI, the cancers can be diagnosed, right? Now, the CT scan, what they do is, in the CT scan, the 3D imaginary of internal organs is generated by the X-rays. So the X-rays are passed, and the 3D structures are being observed of the organs of your body, that wherever if there is presence of any of the cancerous cells, then it can be detected. Same way, the MRI scan is also there, which is going for the pathological and physiological changes in living tissue are detected by the use of magnetic fields and non-ionizing radiations. The difference between these two is, in the CT scan, X-rays is used, and in MRI scan, the magnetic fields and the non-ionizing radiations are being used, right? So in MRI you can have the detailed studies. Here only you will have the 3D imaginary of your organs, right, internal organs. But in MRI scan, you will be having, or you will be able to see even the pathological as well as the physiological changes which are taking place inside the tissues. So the dividing tissues or the dividing cells which are being observed in the MRI scan, through the help of the MRI scan, you can directly check whether the cancerous cells are being produced or not, right? Next is the immunological and molecular biological diagnostic techniques can all be used to detect cancer. Immunological, that means they are using the like the and immunoglobulins, right, that is the antibodies, as well as they are also going for some molecular biological test, and with the help of this they can detect the cancers. Last is the identifying certain genes which make an individual susceptible to cancer can help to prevent cancers. Now, what identifying certain genes, right? That means if a particular individual is susceptible to cancer, right? They should go for the identifying of the genes, that yes, these genes can be transformed into the cancerous genes, or we can say the oncogenes. So if they are going for the identifying of the genes of, then they can easily identify whether the cancer has been occurred or not. So this is all about the diagnosis or the detection, that how you are going to detect and diagnose a particular disease, that is the cancer. Next is we are going to see that how you are going to treat the cancer. That means how the cancer is being treated. So first is the radiotherapy, right? Radiotherapy means the tumor cells are irradiated to death. Also, proper care is taken for protecting surrounding normal tissues. So in radiotherapy, they are been passing the rays in the particular area where the cancerous cells are present. Also, they are taking care that the surrounding cells, which are the normal cells, they are not being like they are not being affected by this rays. So this is the first, that is radiotherapy. Second is the chemotherapy, that is the several drugs, right? Drug specific for particular tumors are used to kill the cancerous cells, and they have side effects such as hair loss, anemia. You might have heard about this, and maybe you are very aware of this word, that is chemotherapy. Normally all the people who are undergoing several cancerous stages, right, they are going for the chemotherapy, right? This therapy is using what? They are using several drugs to kill the cancerous cells, and in order with this particular, in order with the use of this specific drugs for any of the tumors, right, there is several side effects which are seen, such as hair loss or the anemia, that is the loss of the blood. The third type is the immunotherapy, right? The immunotherapy is where the biological response modifiers such as alpha interferons are used. They activate the immune system of patient and kills and helps in destroying the tumor. Immunotherapy means they are being given alpha interferons, just like your antibodies. They are preparing the biological response with the use of several modifiers which are known as alpha interferons. So with the use of these alpha interferons, these alpha interferons are responsible for activating the immune system of the person who is being infected or who is being having cancer cells, right? And this way, upon the activation of the alpha interferons, the immune system is being activated, and when the immune system is activated, it kills the tumor cells. So this way, these are the three main ways through which the cancer can be treated. But amongst these three of them, the most usable treatment is the chemotherapy, right? So I hope you are very clear with today's topic, that is the cancer. And if you have any doubts related to the further topics, then you can check my YouTube channel for it. I have already created a playlist of this chapter. You can check my YouTube channel, and you can check over there the playlist, and you will find all the videos of this chapter. So I hope you are very clear with today's topic, and I hope to see you again. Thank you.